right, welcome to Higher Dimensions, episode 10.
Oh yeah, anniversary, 10th edition.
So what's new, man? How's life?
It's pretty good, dude. You know, I started a mural recently. Things are kind of picking up with that regard, so good times.
That's good. Painting the walls?
Yeah, man.
Uh-huh.
It's very liberating to just walk into a space and just start, throwing paint at the wall.
Yeah.
Very punk.
Do you feel like a graffiti artist, sort of?
Kind of. I wish I was as good as
Uh-huh.
some graffiti artists. I tried to do graffiti back in the day, but that can control is just so tough, It's so hard to get those, perfect lines. It's easier with a brush because you're already up against the wall.
That's interesting, man. I mean, using a spray can.
Yeah.
They have a special nozzle, though, right? Yeah.
One of my friends used to tag, he had, a bag full of just all different types of tips.
Right.
He'd be like, bro, you need this tip. I'm like, dude, this tip isn't going to help me. I suck.
Yeah, it's really like airbrushing at a certain extent,
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I had a friend that was so into it. When we would drive and stuff, he would know all the artists. He'd be like, oh, that guy's up there all the time. You know what I mean? People just get so into it.
Yeah, I can't say that I was ever into doing graffiti. I just wasn't that guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't into vandalism.
Yeah, I think that's why he liked doing it in a way.
Uh-huh.
Just the rush of it. I could get in trouble doing this shit. It's more fun,
Yeah.
You might have to run. You might have to jump some fences.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, this kid that I was in middle school with, he wrote on the side of the elementary school building with red spray paint, "Rebel with a Cause."
Oh.
I know. He thought that was very original, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, "Rebel with a Cause."
That's cool, man. What was his cause? Just being a rebel?
Yeah. Just using red spray paint
Right.
on the elementary school.
Sounds
So,
like a good cause.
they're probably still investigating that somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah, there's probably an open police file. Who's this rebel with a cause?
Yeah, man. Just getting into trouble back in the day. But, yeah, we have no mics for this episode. It's pretty...
Yeah, we're going mic-less. The mics have been an issue, so turn up your volume. What do you want me to say? I'm tired of trying to make you people happy.
Yeah, man. And you never know, the mic might die in the middle, so...
Yeah, and then people are like, oh, it was loud, and now it's not loud.
Yeah.
Such is life.
Totally. I think one day we'll have those official mics, that come up and put them
I
in front
have
of your
one
face.
of those at home, but it's...
Okay.
But there's only one. I mean,
Right.
maybe we could put it...
Oh, yeah, put it in the middle, yeah.
Maybe. I don't even know if it hooks up to this phone, because we're actually doing a podcast on a phone. Not a real camera. We have bullshit-ass equipment.
That's the beginning days, though, man. And then when we're on episode 100, we'll have a whole different, and then we could look back on these and be
Yeah.
like, that was cool.
I had this idea that I wanted to do all of this really great photography on an iPhone. And my Instagram used to be that. I had really amazing pictures, and it was all done on an iPhone.
That's rad.
I thought so. I thought it was cool.
You can get surprisingly good pictures on an iPhone, depending on, the lighting and,
Absolutely. Back in the day, it was better than a camera.
Yeah, definitely. But all my paintings I shoot with a camera now. I have a Canon. I have the typical camera that everybody has.
Yeah.
It's a Canon Rebel T7 or something.
Yep, the old Rebel.
Yeah.
The Rebel with
Rebel
the
with the cause,
Yeah,
bro.
look at
It
that.
came around full circle.
Full circle. Rebel with a cause.
But I was fixating earlier because I was shooting this painting and I just put it into the frame. I signed it before I put it in the frame, so my signature's cut off a little bit when I put it in the frame.
Yeah, that sucks.
And, I'm such a perfectionist.
Yeah.
To the point where, I just shot it before I drove over here, and the whole drive over here, I was just thinking, I'm going to have to, rub my signature off, I'm going to have to redo it before I scan it and all this stuff.
Mm.
And I was just thinking about that the whole time, just trying to, concoct an idea in my head of how I could edit, edit it, move the signature up a little maybe, and I was just, literally thought about it the whole half hour ride here. Was fixating on this, how this painting isn't lining up in the...
Well, what if, you become famous, 100 years after you die, and this painting is circulating somewhere,
Yeah.
And they don't even know it's yours.
Dude, exactly.
And then they take the frame off it and they're like, oh my god, this painting is worth $1 million.
Dude, that's why I think about, because I think about like legacy too much, I think. You know, where I'm just like, every painting has to be immaculately perfect. Signature right place, date the right place, framed perfectly, you know. So, you know, you don't feel good when you release something and you're like, I know something was messed up about it, but I just put it out anyway.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I wish I could say that about the podcast. I mean,
yeah, you know.
We're definitely not going for perfectionism here.
It's the beginning days. Like, in my first days of painting, I didn't give a, you know, I was like, I didn't even put a signature. I was like, you're supposed to put a signature?
Yeah, you put like an X on the bottom, fuck it.
I would just write my name at the bottom, like I didn't know what was up.
Yeah.
I could write a book about all the things that I like didn't know when I first started painting.
I still don't know anything.
Even after getting your doctorate?
Even after my doctorate. You know, the more you admit that you don't know anything, the smarter you actually become.
Sure.
Everybody thinks they know everything now. Everyone is an expert. Everyone is a, you know, a legend in their own mind on social media or wherever, among friends, you know?
Yeah.
Because we are all ego-driven beings.
Right.
You know?
We want to be recognized.
Yeah, we want to be the best or the worst.
Right.
One or the other. There's no in between. I'm either going to be the best or the worst. This is either going to be the best podcast or the worst podcast of all time. One or the other.
That's why I like things that do have camaraderie to them, though. Like, you know, say making music with like a few different people or something. You know, everybody puts in like their own unique. Sure, like you might want to be the best band ever, but when you really get along with like a group of people in conjunction with making art, you like allow somebody else to shine and you like love them for it, you know, and you're okay with being, you know, damn, look at how good they are. Like, I have my own specialty, but they're really good at guitar.
Yeah, it's like being a bass player. You know, who cares about the bass player, really? Like, there's like, we know who you are. We know who you are, but we don't care about you. Like, the only famous there were two famous bass players, Les Claypool and the original bass player from Metallica. What was his name? The guy who died in the...
You don't even know his name, bro.
I forgot.
Bro, you forgot Flea.
Oh, Flea.
What the hell?
Flea's big. Flea's a big, with a small, he's a small flea, but he's a big, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
He's got a small name, big talent.
Yeah, bass is fun, man. I play bass for a band. It's underrated. It's super fun to play.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like the big strings.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Did you?
Coming from guitar, I was like, this is so cool. These strings are crazy. Like, I never got over it, the strings.
Oh.
I thought they were so cool. Just coming from small strings.
Didn't do it for me.
Hey, man. It's not for everyone. If you can't do the boom, 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 then it's not that fun, you know? You gotta be able to slap that shit.
Yeah. I never, just didn't do it. Didn't get into the bass. Nobody plays air bass, though, you know? If someone's going to play air guitar, if someone is going to play an air instrument, it's an air guitar. No one is playing
doing it right
bass.
now, bro.
But does anyone really play air bass?
People who play music, probably.
Do you think no one says, I'm going to do an air drum solo?
Are you kidding me? I do air drum solos. Nobody, I don't know. And then you got air vocals. You do air everything. Everything's in the air.
Just air guitar, man. All that other stuff is unknown.
Yeah, I guess so. My uncle used to, I swear to God, like, he would drive around. He had a Suzuki that was a manual. And he would drive around listening to, like, Rush. And he, like, loved, you know, Neil Peart and everything. And he would know the drums so well. He's an actual drummer. And he would be playing it, and he would, like, use, like, everything in the car as like a different thing. So he'd be like literally hitting on like the rear view mirror to like the side of the door. He'd be like, I thought that shit was so funny. But he like killed it though. And then he would also do the manual.
Wow.
It was hilarious.
Surprised you didn't get like a ticket for that.
Maybe he did at some point. Right? But he ripped, dude. He was super good at it. I was like, what the God, freaking car drum here?
Unknown talent.
I think somebody actually got him for like a family occasion. They got him like a little mini drum set for his car that you could like put on the dashboard.
Wow.
I was like, that's next level.
Does he actually like perform anywhere?
Yeah, he performs to this day. Yeah, he's
Okay.
in like a Creed cover band right now.
All right. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. Or a Creed tribute band.
Creed. Wow.
You know Creed.
I know Creed. I think everyone knows Creed. I don't think I want to know Creed, but
why?
because they're super lame.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like there's like a resurgence of that style of music now.
Is there?
Because it was so lame for so long. Now people are just like, oh, you know what? I don't care. It's pretty cool now.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wouldn't be caught dead listening to Creed.
Yeah.
It's an image thing.
For sure. I hear you.
It's for lame people.
It could be. Everybody's has their own taste. I respect it, you know.
Creed is like fake grunge, but like religious. It's weird. It's like, where are you going with that?
Yeah. It's definitely like for the masses. You know? It's very like for the masses type music.
It's mainstream.
Sure.
Mainstreamo.
They're not taking any like big risks and getting experimental. Like they're kind of going right down the middle.
Oh yeah. Bar chords, power chords, basic solo. That's it.
Yeah, man, it could be fun, but I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, music's just not what it used to be. I don't even care about it. I listen to like, I don't even know what I listen to. I listen to more, I don't know. I listen to the same stuff I listened to in like the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yeah.
I listen to like sound healing stuff. I don't really, binaural beats.
Sure.
Medicine music. I don't really listen to rock and roll or anything anymore. I've changed too much. Too much.
Yeah.
I just don't care.
Yeah. Yeah, man. You never know when something new might like kind of hit you, you know? I see my dad getting into like, you know, he is very kind of like you where he's like, I listen to these bands that I listened to growing up and music kind of like got whatever. And I see him like getting into some new bands now and I'm like, oh, that's cool. You know? Some like instrumental like bands. I'm just like, oh, I love to see people like sort of branch out, like rediscover things and
yeah. I mean, I like to go watch local music. Like I like to go to industry and watch jam bands and stuff. That's fun.
Yeah.
They're very talented.
Yeah, it's a good time. Jam bands can kind of like trail on for a long time.
Oh yeah. Endless solos.
Yeah.
So, what I'm seeing lately in the world is I think people are really fucked up right now.
Yeah, bro.
Right? In so many words. Like, I'm very unprofessional. Like, I'll just talk like this. But from a professional point of view, I mean, like, the amount of mental, emotional suffering that's going on in the world and versus the amount of accountability for it is so out of balance. Like, is it because everybody has a platform on social media and people are starving for attention? Is it because people want to be in control and they have no control over life? Is it because people want to take power away from other people? Is it all of these things? Like, there's so many things driving these monsters in society. And I've just become, like, kind of so aware of it that, like, lately I've just been sleeping a lot. Like, I just want to sleep for, like, as long as possible.
Yeah.
Like, that's depression, obviously. But I come to work, I treat patients, I hold space for them. I really try to make it about them. Yeah. I don't want to bring any of my own stuff into it.
Yeah.
I really want to focus in on them. And then I go home, I watch a couple of things, I listen to like some teachers that I enjoy, like spiritual teachers, and then I go to sleep with that on and I try to absorb it subconsciously and hope to God that I become a better person.
Yeah.
Actually, you know, one thing I'm really tired of is people pretending that they are a better person. Pretending that they have it all figured out, that they're the go-to person for information, that you know they manifest everything they want in life. Like, I don't know. Do you believe it or not?
I mean, different people have different levels of manifestation. I believe it when I see that they are in a great place. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense that you might have manifested it. I don't think that anything slips by the universe though, like unchecked. Like nobody's gonna get great fortune unless the universe puts their stamp on it and says approves it. You know, like the universe has to approve everything that we get and has to, you know. So, you know.
I think people value misery too much. Like, they value being miserable.
Value being miserable.
Absolutely. People are walking around and they want to experience misery.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, yeah.
They want to get into a fight with someone on the road. They want to walk around saying, oh, this sucks, that sucks, this place sucks. I hate this person. I hate this show. I hate this politician.
Right.
There's so much of that going on right now. How are we going to get past it? How are we going to escape that? That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there has the answer to that, put it in the comments below. But seriously, how are we going to escape this condition of self-induced suffering?
Well, I always go back to addict behavior. It's stimulus. Like when you get miserable about something and get really upset about it, it's a sort of stimulus. Like, you know, I think we've talked about this before, and you know, it's like pain and pleasure are the same coin. It's two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
So it's like that rage and excitement are like two sides of the same coin. So it's like if you need to go get the rage to like feel anything, like you're gonna go for that rage, like you're gonna go for that sadness. And I feel like addressing it within ourselves is the first step to seeing a change in the world, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I've had to reel myself back in so many times in the last few days to be like, you can be happy right now.
Yeah.
You have to choose being happy.
Yeah.
Even if it's temporary, even if it's just like, I want to laugh at this. I want to have a good conversation with this person. I want to enjoy my day at work. I want to go for a beautiful nature walk. I want to enjoy this cup of coffee. Today I was sitting at Crazy Beans at the bar, and I'm like, I'm going to enjoy, if it's the last fucking thing I do, I'm going to enjoy this cup of coffee. And I did. I enjoyed it.
That's
and I
awesome.
focused on it. And, you know, I wasn't pretending.
Yeah.
I love authenticity. I want people to be authentic. If you're authentically miserable, be it. But like, if you are going out of your way to stay miserable, I don't know. That doesn't even make sense, does it? What am I even saying?
No, because like authentic misery is almost like a really good stand-up comedian or something. Like that could be a strategy that they use where it's like, oh my God, they're explaining this misery so well. They understand it so well that it's like funny. Like there's a level of that like resonates when somebody could really like I want to freaking die, and you're just like there's something so like heart to heart about that. Where you're just like I felt that, you know. So I feel authentic misery can be like beautiful in a lot of ways.
They say misery loves company.
Yeah.
You know, but I think people relate to one another through misery. Like, hey man, this miserable thing happened to me. Can I talk to you about it? Oh yeah, I remember when that miserable thing happened to me too. Wow. Well, bring it back to me and let's talk about my, oh no, well, what about my misery? And then you're like, you're in like a power struggle over like who's experienced the greatest level of misery.
Yeah.
It's a misery battle.
Yeah.
Similar to a dharma battle, but now we've evolved from dharma to misery.
Do you think that's Do you think that's productive
No.
to be like,
No.
even if it's like like sort of working from a point, like we both meet at this point of we've been this miserable, and then we could build up from there.
Yeah,
Like
that
that type
sounds
of thing.
positive.
Like, but then we could meet at a level that we both common understanding of the misery, and then work from like, okay, how are we gonna like change going forward? How are we gonna like support each other in feeling better? You know, because you have to meet at some level. What if like if you came to me or I came to you and you know you had no reference point, then what the hell are we talking about? I'm just throwing shit at you, you know. So
Well,
we kind of have to meet a little bit.
you know, everything has a label now. Like people call it trauma dumping. Like, oh, you know, all this person does is trauma dump, or they're an energy vampire. All they want to do is take my energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've even heard people say, I don't have the space for it. I don't have the energy for it. And I always say, well, there's an endless amount of space. There's an endless amount of energy. It's really your preference. You don't want to do it. You don't want to be bothered by it.
Yeah.
I'll sit and I'll listen to somebody's misery all day. You know that about me. I'll be like, fucking give it to me, man. Let me hear.
Yeah.
Tell me more about your misery. Because, I don't know, I really believe that the most authentic healers are people who can relate to misery.
Mm.
Not people who are trying to pretend to be happy all the time and be like, everything is love, everything is light, everything is dancing around in rainbows. It's like, no, everyone here has some degree of suffering. I want to know about it. I want to hear about it. I want you to feel heard right now.
Yeah.
I want you to feel heard, because a lot of people don't believe that God is listening to them. And I'll tell you why. Because God, and this is based off of Kabbalah, God only sees one being. He sees all of the human beings and all of the animals and all of the inanimate objects as one being.
Mm.
So, when you're like, why isn't God listening to me? It's because you are not speaking from all of the beings. You're only speaking from a tiny aspect of the being, right? So what you have to do is you have to say, I want all people to be heard. I want all people to be heard. And if God can't hear, then I want to hear for God. I want to be here for God. If God doesn't have ears to hear it, I want to hear it.
Mm.
I want to hold that space. And like that has given me some feeling of purpose in this world.
Mm.
You know? Yeah, I do acupuncture, I do hypnotherapy, but like what do I really do is I hold space for people.
Mm.
That's my purpose. You know? So when I don't do a good job holding space for people, I feel like I've failed.
Mm.
When I feel like I need someone to hold space for me, sometimes I feel like I've failed. Sometimes that causes me misery. When I am burdening somebody else, when I need somebody.
Mm.
Do you ever feel that?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard feeling.
That Kings of Leon song just came to mind where it's like, I know that I could use somebody. I love that song. That's a banger.
Mm.
But something just came to mind when you were talking. So is that why like people get together with enchanting? Like, is that because of what you were saying about how God only hears when it's all of the beings saying the thing?
So in Kabbalah we look at it, and that's what I teach. Okay, so you're going to hear about it.
Damn
So
right.
in Kabbalah we call it a 10 because there are 10 Sephirot in the tree of life. Okay, so why are there 10? Because that is what is needed in order to experience the Creator between all of those beings. It takes 10 beings to feel the Creator, and maybe to hear the Creator, or for the Creator to hear us.
Mm.
So yeah, the more people that you get together with, it's going to be amplified because, yeah, what if there's 10 groups of 10? There's 100 people, or 100 groups of 10. Right now there's 1,000 people. That amplifies the creative force between all of us. So what I'm making it a practice to not only to speak to all beings, so I'm speaking to all of you, but to also hear all of you. I want to make sure that the collective is heard. I want to hear you. I want to hear your pain. And I feel like that is the most noble cause that I could come up with.
Yeah.
And I think that, like, it's weird because, like, you could be in a very close relationship. Like, I'm a married man. I could say this, and because my wife knows me, it's hard to believe that would even be my genuine desire. Because you also have this human part of yourself that is flawed, that is immensely flawed. So let's say, what if I was the Dalai Lama? What if I was Jesus? What if I, okay, that's this image that we all put on something. Were those avatars? Are those avatars? Are those great beings? Are those saintly beings? Yes. But we can have the same intention and desire as those beings, right? But when we do, we're never going to be seen like they're seen, right? We're never going to be appreciated like that. And I want to know why. Why is that? Why can't? Because we're not that avatar, So what if this becomes a practice of mine for the next 10 years? Then what happens to me, Do I transform? Do I ascend? All of these people talk about ascension. But they're still the same. They look the same. They don't have, they're not different than they were. So what is that?
Well,
is that fake?
I'll just tell you that.
Is it some new age philosophy? I think so.
You get more of like a glow in your aura when you have the same intentions as these avatars. Like, I would say that, and that in turn comes into your body and will sort of affect, like, I don't think you're gonna change per se, but like the first time I saw you, you have like a look about you that's like guru-esque, and like I know that I was like fascinated by you the first time I saw you. And I'm not saying this to like flatter you or anything. I'm just telling you my experience.
It's okay. I hear
like,
that.
I was like, oh, that's somebody that I like want to talk to. And we didn't even talk the first time I ever saw you, but you are in a powerful avatar. You are. It might not be like maybe Jesus's level yet or even close, but like, I wouldn't like underestimate the power that your avatar has.
I guess it's because like. Sometimes the people who I want, and this is probably just life, the people I want to see me the most like that don't.
Right.
That's the hardest thing.
Right.
And it's usually the people you really love.
Yeah.
It's like, I really, really love you, but you don't see me the way other people see me. When people really know you, they know you for all of your flaws.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. The whole world could like love you right now. Like literally be like looking for you. You could be a celebrity.
Right.
And because one person is whatever, doesn't care, they're just like F you to you. That like the whole world loving you doesn't even matter.
It's true.
That's a very like celebrity problem, I feel like. That's a very I could just start naming off musicians that went through that, but
yeah, I mean a lot. I'm sure like some of the most talented people in the world feel that way.
Right.
Like everyone loves my music except for one person, so therefore it must not be that
sucks,
good.
Yeah.
Everybody loves my practice, but one person hated it because I have I had bad breath that day.
Right.
Right. So I'm terrible. But why do we fixate on these things?
It's a really good question.
Why are we so obsessed with
Hyperfixation.
looking for what is wrong and what is not right and what is not
Training.
Our minds are trained like that, sure.
But yeah. I mean, different people are trained. I don't know. Is it like genetics? Is it because there are people who look at the positive in life constantly, and they want to live forever. My grandparents, that's who I would reference. They never want to die. They're like 90, and they're just every day is just. Oh, I just look at the positive. Meanwhile, me, since I was 14, I've been depressed. Thinking about ending it all every day for some reason. Like, what's the difference between that kind of brain?
Some people are wired like that. Like I think like to help others with suffering, you have to know suffering.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the super positive people all the time don't give good advice to people like who are troubled, like maybe us.
Yeah, I mean, you could say look at the positive, but if somebody is miserable in life,
that's too difficult.
Look at the positive.
It's too difficult. Yeah.
That'll make life easy. Just look at the positive.
Mm-hmm.
When everything is falling apart in your life, look at the positive.
Well, we're the people who make really dope artwork. Seriously, like, the people who are going through this type of misery are the people who make the best artwork. And that's known. That's known. There's no arguing that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Sure, I'm sure there's a few exceptions of people who are just, shining stars of light and they make cool artwork. But the best artwork that digs the deepest are made by people who are super troubled.
Yeah, it's an affliction.
Sure.
I've wrote the best music that I've ever written when I was the saddest in my life.
Yeah, man. The Ganesh song, like I just did the Kirtan last week, and everybody was like, "Play Mark's Ganesh song," and I was just like, "Let's get it."
That's funny.
Everybody loves that, and we're waiting for more. So,
yeah,
you could channel a lot into that.
Right. Life is filled with highs and lows. There's a swing of a pendulum that is constantly swinging, and you'll have your highs and then it swings back and you'll have your lows. I had a really good run of highs, and this has been a tough year. But now we have a podcast.
Higher D.
So everything's fine, I guess, during this hour.
This sounded like an ad, like the world's literally burning. The world's like actually on fire outside, like people are fighting in the streets, and it's just like, well, that sucks, but now we have a podcast. It's just like, what? Like we have no food or water, but it's like, we got a podcast.
We have a phone, and there's a good 30 or 40 people that will listen to us for a few minutes.
Yeah, man. That's cool. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I mean...
I don't know where I'd be without creating, dude. Like, there was a quote, I forgot what artist it is, maybe next week I'll have it, but they were like, painting allows me to live. That's what they said. And I was just like, I've never heard anything that resonates more. It literally allows me to live. Because if I didn't have it, I would just never be able to reach a space of peace. It's that is my peace. That is the one pointed focus that I could, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't have that. So
I think some people find joy and happiness and pleasure by controlling others. Like the more people they can control, the happier they are.
That's not real happiness, though.
No. I mean, it's not a good thing.
Yeah.
But I think that there are a lot of people who are like that.
That's like a rush. That's a power trip. It's like cocaine or something. It gives you like a freaking little like jolt. That's not like, oh great, I'm controlling everybody. I'm at peace now.
No,
like,
it's not true happiness at all. It's an illusion of happiness. But I think that the more someone controls people, the more it inflates their ego, and they have this like sense of worth, this high self-value because they're in control of people, or they're able to manipulate people, and it sucks. It sucks.
Stop controlling people.
You gotta stop.
Please.
Don't do it.
Please stop.
I don't want to control anyone, but like, if I'm like fearful of losing somebody, like I'll start grasping and manipulating, and it's sick. It's not good.
Yeah, well, the first step's recognizing it, so that's at least good.
Yeah.
At least, you're aware. You have the awareness of knowing, like...
I've definitely changed my intentions dramatically over the years. Where I used to be like, I want to be successful, I want to have money, I want to have this, I want to have that. Now I'm like, I want to hold space for people. I want my heart filled with love. I want to be open-hearted, and I want to make other people happy somehow. I want to bring some joy into their hearts.
That's beautiful, man.
I really want that. So, you better let me do it.
Let me bring that joy.
You better allow it. What people block what I have to offer sometimes,
Yeah, well, you're doing more of these sound healings, which is a really beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's nice. Sound healing is good. It's fun.
Yeah.
To bang on some gongs and singing bowls.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good stuff. High quality stuff.
Yeah, man. And we definitely always want you at the kirtan, so if you want to play some songs.
Yeah, I'll probably come this Thursday.
Cool.
Just fire off some mantras.
Yeah, man. It's at a new location, so it's a little bit of a different vibe.
Yeah, I heard. I saw the video. It looks cool.
Karma yoga.
Yes.
It's good, man. This is an intense one though. I like it though. This is real shit. We're hashing it out right now. The battle between good and evil.
I feel like this is stuff you can't even talk about anymore. I feel like if you talk about this stuff, people will be like, this person is not real. Because what people do see online is all bullshit. So when somebody is actually real and honest and like, they can actually admit to how difficult life could be, people look at you and they're like, how could you possibly help somebody else? But it's like the opposite. That's the funniest thing. Like, people are so, like, they're like fish getting lured in by like a flashy fishing lure, like a little shiny object where they see like somebody pretending like, oh, come to so-and-so wellness. I'm going to, do this quantum healing on you and you're going to be all healed and I'm going to send you into the rainbows. And people are like, that's what will help me. And then they go there and they have like some fantasy experience and then they're right back into their normal life. And is it really what they needed? Or was what they needed to dive deep into their subconscious mind and fight these demons that they have? And,
You just sound so much like a pastor right now.
It's true.
These demons.
It's true. We have demons.
Yeah, definitely. We have demons and angels.
We have demons and nobody wants to talk about it. I want to talk about your demons. I want to talk to your demons.
Yeah, you have talked to demons.
I've
before.
talked to them. They're intense.
Yeah.
I do like exorcisms on people. Nobody would believe half of the stuff that I do. That's also the problem.
Are demons like the source of unhappiness? Like once you get rid of...
Yeah, they could be. You could have like some kind of entity that just makes you miserable every day.
Right.
Or it causes you to enact habits and behaviors that make other people not like you.
Right.
And then that makes you miserable. So it's...
Yeah.
It's really, that's the latter of what I said is more true.
Yeah.
Like, an entity will cause you to have habits and behaviors and addictions and things like that that cause other people to not like you and therefore making you miserable. But because you don't have this awareness of it, it's so hidden from you, you just think that it's you, and then you hate yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people are in that. A lot of people are in that, and I want to save them from it. I want to save me from it too.
Yeah. Well, you can't even get rid of somebody's demons unless they genuinely, on a deep, deep level, want to get rid of them and are willing to get rid of them, right? You can't just banish them without.
No, they have to want to let it go.
Right.
And they have to also replace it with something valuable to them.
Right.
There has to be some higher force or higher connection that comes in and takes its place.
Right. Would you want to do like a little mini one right now, just like as an example? Like, I definitely have demons. I mean, no, that's too much.
Yeah.
Just to like give a little example of what this looks like. Like maybe I'll be like, oh, like getting the demon sucked out of me. I don't know.
It could take like an hour.
Okay.
You know.
You can't give like a speed notes on
I could do like a 30-second hypnosis on you to
right.
like, okay, so, all right, I'll hypnotize you for a moment, all right?
Okay.
So close your eyes, take a deep breath, inhale through the nose, exhale out through your mouth, and I want you to focus on your breath for a few moments. And each breath that you take is going to take you deeper and deeper into a state of relaxation. Deeper and deeper and deeper, down, 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 down into the most relaxed state. Most relaxed state. You are the most relaxed you've been all day. Feeling relaxed, feeling relaxed, feeling relaxed. Focusing on your breath. Focus on your breath again. Now bring all of your awareness to my voice. Just my voice. Whatever I'm saying, you're putting all of your attention on it. So much attention that my voice, the words that I'm saying are now becoming your thoughts. My voice is the only thoughts that you're having right now. All of your thoughts, every thought in your mind is my voice and what I'm saying to you. Now, I want you to imagine yourself as a superhero. What kind of superhero are you? What do you look like? What are your superpowers? I want you to tell me.
I have spandex on.
Okay.
Some cool designs on it.
Uh-huh.
A black band around my eyes.
Okay.
2 little eye holes. Like a ninja.
Okay, and why are you dressed like this?
Maybe because that's my idea of a superhero.
Uh-huh. And what would your superpowers be?
I could jump really high. Like almost like parkour type thing. I could like run up buildings.
Okay. And why do you want those to be your superpowers?
Because it's fun.
Yeah.
That's fun. You could, jump onto rooftops and overlook everything.
Uh-huh.
See it all,
So is fun something that you value?
Yes.
How much do you value fun?
It's high up there in the values, definitely. It's one of maybe the top one.
So if you could have fun right now, what would you do? What would be fun for you?
Right now?
Yeah. What would be the most fun that you could ever have if you were to do it right now?
Probably be able to just like float through the ceiling and fly around.
Flying around?
Yeah.
So what does flying around do for you? What does it give you?
Feeling of freedom.
Okay. So what do you value more, freedom or fun?
Yeah, freedom actually, yeah.
Okay. And where do you feel the most free?
Mm, where do I feel? Mm, maybe practicing asana. Um, uh, maybe in the woods, walking around, going on a hike, painting, things like that.
Is there any is there any type of freedom that you would like to have that you have never experienced before?
Hmm. I suppose like freedom from mind, freedom from intrusive thoughts and things like that.
And where do you feel the most unfree in life?
Hmm. Probably like driving when you don't want to, you know? You have to drive like a really long and you're just not up for it. You're like, oh, I got a 2 hour drive. I'm not up for this. Not being able to move, like being in places where you have to sit, something like that at work. Maybe you have to sit for a long time and look at a computer. Something like that.
How does that make you feel when you're stuck in a car and you can't move?
Oof, like fidgety and it's just you're looking like you're looking around, kind of trapped, like a caged bird or something.
So if you were to feel that feeling in your body right now, where would you feel it?
I actually feel it in my throat a little bit.
Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to use your inner eyes and I want you to reach inside your throat and I want you to pull out the object that you feel stuck there. And then I want you to tell me what it looks like.
Okay. Looks like a key. And it has like 3 like divots on the end, like a skeleton key, and then.
Is it inside your body when you see the key, or?
It was, and I took it out.
You took it out
of my throat.
Okay. Did it change when you took it outside of your body?
Yeah, it had like. Yeah, I mean, it had like sort of like guts on it, like from being inside my body, it had like blood or something.
Okay. So did that key lock you in something, or was it the key to your freedom?
Well, I suppose because it felt stuck, it might have been like the lock. Yeah, because it felt kind of stuck, so it almost. Well, I guess it would have been like the key that like locked me.
Okay.
Away.
So how does it feel now that it's outside of your body?
It feels a lot better. I feel like more airy, and like free, a little bit more like floaty.
Okay. So this feeling of freedom that you wanted, do you feel like you have it right now?
Yeah, I do. I feel good right now.
So what I want you to do is I want you to focus on that feeling of freedom and I want you to multiply that feeling times 10. And when you feel that feeling times 10, I want you to imagine that feeling of freedom filling every single cell in your body. Every single cell, all of the mitochondria in your body being filled with that feeling of freedom. Imagine it like a golden light filling every single cell in your body. Now from this moment forward, that freedom that you desire, you're going to feel that freedom. You're going to feel it every single day. Every time you feel restricted, anytime that you feel stuck, you're going to replace that with this feeling of freedom. How do you feel about that?
Feels like I want to be able to access that at times where I'm feeling stuck and, trapped.
What's preventing you from accessing it right now?
Nothing. I feel it.
You feel it right now?
Yeah.
So from this moment forward, are you ready to feel that instead of feeling stuck?
Yes, I'm ready to feel that.
All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to open our eyes, and when we open our eyes, you're going to feel that feeling of freedom, that feeling that you value, that feeling that you desire. That's going to be the most dominant feeling that you have from now on. Is that something that you are going to approve of? Is that something you're willing to accept in your life?
Yes, I'm excited to accept that.
Okay,
Yes.
on the count of 3, open your eyes. 1, 2, 3. So there you go. Do you feel free right now?
Yeah, I do. Feel good.
So that's like, I don't know, 2-minute hypnosis.
Everything's lighter.
It actually does change your state, though, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it might have looked kind of ridiculous, but
I kind of forgot what the room looked like. Actually, I was kind of deep there. Wow, that was beautiful.
Yeah. So we got to the root of you have a feeling of feeling stuck, but you value feeling free. You were able to visualize like a key in your throat chakra.
Yeah.
That literally symbolized being locked in something.
Yeah.
And you were able to pull it outside of your body and then replace it with the feeling of freedom.
Dude, I really felt like that was so weird how that came up. I really see it almost like it went right to my throat.
Yeah.
And then it was like you even heard me be like
yeah, you did cough a little
like, and I didn't feel like that the whole time that we were talking. This whole time I didn't have that until we like went into that session. So that's really interesting. And then just being able to address it. Wow. It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah, so you'll have to tell us how free you felt this week.
Yeah.
I felt pretty free when I had that slice of meatball pizza next door.
Ooh, that sounds so good, dude. How do you feel after?
Not really super like healthy.
Right. Not ready to like run a marathon or anything.
No.
Do push-ups.
No, I've been a little stressed out, so I haven't been eating the greatest, you know. But yeah, man. So you got hypnotized.
Yeah, that was really cool. Felt good. Being able to go into that state is just so nice, you know? Being able to just use training your mind to use the imagination as a tool to liberate you rather than a tool to put you deeper and deeper into the hole that you're digging.
Right.
Is really it's a muscle, you know, it's essential, and just doing that really gave me a little bit of insight on how much I need to do that, you know.
Yeah, it's good when somebody could guide you, because it catches you off guard, catches your mind off guard.
Yeah.
Because you don't really know what the other person is going to tell you to do.
Right.
So it's like a paradigm shift, like a pattern interrupt.
It is, man, because we went through and it's like, it really does catch you off guard. At first I'm describing how I'm a ninja, and then I'm describing it how I want to fly around, and it's like, it's so abstract, you know? So that's a beautiful thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's usually like the first thing I try with people to see if I could hypnotize them is have them pretend to be a superhero. Because when you're a little kid, everybody pretends to be a superhero. Right?
Yeah. Do you have any like bizarre superhero story that somebody's told you, or you don't want to share?
Nothing that really comes to mind. I mean, people usually want to fly, or they want to, you know, somebody wanted to be like strong.
Right.
Beat people
that was
up.
my next thing, was like strong.
Yeah. I mean, usually if somebody wants to be strong, there's areas in their life that they feel weak. Usually if somebody wants to fly, there's areas in their life where they feel restricted or weighed down, right?
Yeah.
So you could look at it in all these different ways of looking at it. So, well, I'm pretty shot, man. You wanna call this one?
Yeah, dude. This was
episode
beautiful.
10.
Yeah, this was a blast.
Yeah, don't mind me. I'm just like I'm a little wonky today. Today's been a day. It's been a day.
Yeah.
Yesterday was a really rough day. So today is the sequel to that. So I hope everyone out there is having a better day than me today. So
yeah, man. Well, I felt like it really made for some really raw moments, at the very least.
Right.
So I feel like that's the positive of it.
All right. Well, stay tuned for episode 11, level 11.
Yeah, I don't know if my friend Vishnu is going to come on. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but he might be on episode 11 if you know.
That would be a good number for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe
So
Vishnu.
he knows a lot about like herbs and fasting.
Mm.
You know, he has a practice, so he should be really an interesting, guest.
And I'm glad I filled this hour with nonsense instead of something useful.
No, it was great, man. Never. Never.